Hello everyone, this is a video I promised, not last week, the week before, to do last week, but instead I did the Nollyverse video, which I will link up in the iCard for you, because it is definitely an interesting video to watch. Now, we're talking about another regular on my channel, which is Lainey and Onision. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you're probably aware that about 4 or 5 weeks ago now, Onision and Lainey had somebody staying with them called Sam, and they kicked her out. Now, there are different reasons floating around as to why, which we'll go through. And we'll also go through the whole fact of it just shows even more how bad Onision is at business. I'll explain what I mean by that in a minute. But it's funny the reactions and the behaviours that have come out afterwards. I did initially say that I didn't know where I stood on this, because I didn't know what was said and when. There are things that have been reported to have said, but I can't find them. I will say that they have been said, that they've been said, but I can't find any proof to back it up. Some of the videos I will be including to prove more so Lainey's behaviour towards Sam, as opposed to Sam's behaviour towards Lainey and others. So, Sam moved into the house as a camerawoman, as a camera person, to help Greg with videos, with streams, etc. Both Sam and Greg hugged each other on a regular basis. This is pretty much evident from what they were both saying. Then there was one incident where Sam and Onision were in the office and she hugged him from behind, which made Lainey feel uncomfortable. Shortly after that, she was kicked out. Now, she went to live with her father, her brother and his stepmom. There was an issue that arose with a huge row over Sam, between the stepmother and the father and her and her brother. And in the end, she's now able to stay in the house, but the brother's got to move out. But because she can stay, she can help make money to help him get a new place, because I think he has to be out by the beginning of April. So that issue seems to have settled. She did set up a GoFundMe, but I think she had it up in a day, 2 days, and then she shut it down and refunded everybody. Because once everything settled and she was allowed to stay in the house, she knew she could make the money to help him get a place of his own. So, now, after this, obviously, prior to this, it was obvious, I'm not sure how, but people knew that Sam was staying there. And everybody started asking questions, why Sam moved out, you know. And people have said that she was stealing, which there is no evidence of. People were saying that she and Greg had done something that they shouldn't have done. Okay. Then there was the major issues for Lainey were that Sam didn't clean up after herself. That Sam was inappropriate with Greg. And that the whole situation made her feel uncomfortable. And because it made her feel uncomfortable, Greg told her to move out. Now, as a result of this, apparently Greg said and this just proves how shit of a businessman he is. Greg said that having Sam at the house, living in, working for him full time, he actually cost him money. He actually lost money instead of made money, so why fly somebody to where you live, house them and feed them, if it's just going to cause you loss of money? Why do something like that when you already had a camera person? Now, as most of us know, Lainey and Greg's relationship isn't a conventional relationship. Lainey is non-binary, I think, and Greg has this thing for underdeveloped people, which he actually admitted to. I will leave that live stream up above, where he actually admitted to it. So, and they have a polyamorous relationship as well. Now, from a business point of view, he should have, and like I'm saying, this is Onision, so I'm applying logic where there isn't logic. Onision should have sat down and thought, right, this is how much it's going to cost us to fly Sam over, house her, feed her, blah blah blah, pay her, whatever, etc. And this is how much money we have spare. Or this is, can we fit this into the budget, shall we say? And the answer should have been no. Any normal businessman or woman would have done the same thing. If I was to employ somebody, which I would never, because, well, unless I got really big, which I doubt, I would never employ somebody if the budget didn't allow it. When you have a business, and I'm assuming Greg operates his channel like a business, not like a hobby like a lot of us, he operates it as a business. He really should think about his expenditure before he starts spending money on new camera equipment, new computers, etc. You have to make sure you have the money incoming to pay for the expenditures. Now, Sam has her own thoughts. I have been in contact with Sam over Twitter, and we had a brief conversation. Bless her. She's telling the best to tell the truth while being respectful. She knows that the reason why she was kicked out was because Lainey was uncomfortable. She knows the reason behind everything was mainly due to either a misunderstanding between her and Greg, or a misunderstanding between Greg and Lainey as to Sam's true purpose. Now, Greg keeps poking at her. I haven't seen the video, but there is speculation that he's called her a whore, and several other things. And I see it as very similar to what he did with Billy, to a point. In that he's poking, hoping to elicit a nasty response, but Sam's not giving him that. Her story stayed the same. When she went into the house, the bathroom that she attached to the room that she was staying in was blocked, and she told them about it, and it took until the day before she moved out to fix it. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of people are saying that the reason why she was kicked out was because of she retweeted some hate comments. No. They've all said that had nothing to do with it, which I'm not sure if I believe that either, because we all know Greg has a hell of an ego. But her story has stayed the same through the entire situation. Lainey's has pretty much stayed the same. Greg's has changed. Sam thinks that she was there in a hope that once she got there, Lainey would like her and the whole poly thing would start, which didn't happen. Which, pretty obvious that it's not going to happen. And the fact that Greg thought it would happen is delusional. Then you have the fact that the only reason why Greg would invite somebody over there add a loss to the business, but have them over there for a personal reason, but call it business so that he can claim the tax back, would be for nefarious means. Now, this isn't just my opinion. Like I say, Sam's story's pretty much stayed the same. Sam's entire experience has pretty much stayed the same. She was kicked out. She did trust real stream news, but they seem to have got a little bit vindictive with her. The blog haven't yet, and I don't think the blog will, but real stream news apparently can be quite vindictive. So, but on the flip side, Greg is being petty as fuck, and I don't think it's helping anything. I don't think it's helping his reputation, shall we say, that he's acting this spoiled and he's acting like this much of a brat. He's acting like somebody who got his favourite toy taken away from it. And I think he had a plan in his own head and it backfired. And it backfired royally at him. Sam says that she loved him as a friend. That's fine. You know, but she's starting to see how nasty he can be. Because he's being petty as fuck. And she's a lot stronger than she looks. She's not wavering, she's not giving him what he wants. I'll actually leave all the social media down below because it is worth following this girl, because the amount of shit he put her through, I would flip my lid if that was me. But he's calling her all sorts, and you know, the fact that he's this vindictive, which we already knew. We knew he was vindictive. We just didn't realise how vindictive. So, you know, it's one of those things that we need to get this sort of settled. We need to get Sam's pretty much distanced himself from Greg, which is a good thing. But the fact that he's tried to make himself look like he's the better person in this when he's not, and we all know he's not, is pretty dodgy. And I think that he's going to come unstuck with it. I really do. He's not the nicest person in the world, which we all know. And some might blame Sam for going into that situation thinking one thing, when a lot of us would have seen that it was obvious that he was thinking something else. Which she's now come to the realisation that she was probably there for nefarious means, not just for what Greg wanted her to be there for. Or what he said he wanted her to be there for. I don't trust Greg. Never have, never will. So, but yeah, it's upsetting because this young girl went there thinking that she was going as a camerawoman and that she would have a professional relationship with him, that he would help her grow, you know, her Twitch channel, everything else. And then this happens and royally messes her over, and I feel really bad for her. I really do. I really wish that I could make things easier for her, but until this dies down, then. But I think Greg's trying to provoke a reaction out of her so that he can make a breakup video. She's even said this. A breakup video, it's petty as hell. Like I say, it doesn't help that when Sam goes into one of Lainey's streams to try and talk to Lainey, Lainey's like, no, ring me, text me. If you've got something to say that could ruin my marriage, because apparently Sam wants to tell Lainey something that could ruin a marriage. If you've got something to say, ring me, text me, my phone's here, blah blah blah. But the only problem is with that is, number one, if that's how hostile they're going to be on stream, then why should Sam ring them? Why? And not only that is, we don't know for a fact whether or not Sam's tried and she can't get through it, because there is a possibility that Greg has blocked Sam's number, which is entirely possible. I really won't put it past him. So, this whole situation is messed up, and I think a large part of Sam realises she fucked up getting into that situation, and now she's to try and find the best way, the easiest way out of it without ruining everybody. And does she possibly have information that could ruin Lainey and Greg's marriage? Probably. Do we know the full story? I doubt it, because Sam is trying her best not to provoke Greg. She's trying her best not to have the same fire brought down on her that Greg brought on Billy not that long ago. We all know how vindictive Greg can be. He's got a history of it. Shane, Sia, Social Repose, Jacqueline Glenn, Eugenia. Just to name but a few. It is absolutely unbelievable how petty Greg can be. For somebody who's nearly my age, he's so immature. He's beyond immature. He really has no idea how a grown man conducts their life or a business. If I showed my family members that run businesses or have high involvement in specific businesses, if I showed them what Greg does for a business and how he carries his business and everything, they would laugh their arse off. They would really laugh their arse off. Because it's ridiculous. The guy uses a website for taxis. The guy employs people to do camera work when all he's doing is sitting talking to a camera. Most people can do that on their own, and most people do. Now, if he was running a business like, say, Markiplier, because Markiplier does his gaming videos, which is just him in a room playing a computer with a camera face, and that's it. He sets everything up himself, that's fine. He just has somebody else edit. When he's not doing those videos and he's doing the fun videos, he has somebody behind the camera. Then you have Shane Dawson. He has somebody behind the camera because they're always moving. So Andrew operates the camera. Then you have Matthias and all the channels that he controls and everything. They have, sometimes the cameras are stationary, sometimes they're not, it depends on what they're doing. But that's a different type of channel, that's a different type of thing. Greg literally does exactly what I do. Sit in a room, talk to a camera, 90% of the time. The only time he technically needs a cameraman is when he does skits. And his skits are shit. In all honesty, they're shit. And it shows that he's not grown up since he was 12. And he throws the mother of all parties when he doesn't get his way. Sounds very much like a child. You know, he sounds like a teenager that just hasn't grown up. The military wouldn't let him out because he signed for however many year hitch. So he got himself medically dishonourably discharged. Because he couldn't get his way. Well, why did you sign up anyway? Knowing that you would be against shooting people and shooting things, you signed up to an agency that's whole thing is shooting people and shooting things. I'll tell you, this guy is... But he's in the right and everybody else is in the wrong. Whatever, Greg. So, what I have to say is, and I'm going to, when this goes live, I'm going to message Sam and let her know that it's live. But I have to admit that Sam's been a lot stronger than I thought she would be. And she's been a lot more... even toned and even voiced than I thought she would be. She has the beginnings of a very strong businesswoman and a very, very strong person and somebody to definitely watch. She's, for her to go toe-to-toe to Greg and not give him what he wants is pretty good, especially with how vindictive he's been. Where I will link you to the actual videos themselves. But like I say, I definitely keep an eye on Sam because she's definitely one to watch. So, Sam, you're a lot stronger than you look, and good on you, huh? Don't let him get what he wants, because once he does that, he will eat you for breakfast, and I don't want to see that happen. So, stay safe, be good, have fun. I will see you on Friday. I don't know what I'm doing Friday yet, but I'll figure that out between now and then.